Sup, guys? Huh? Huh? What in the world? So, these three are the three that straight up murdered a guy because they wanted his mask? Alright, so we have Mr. Griss. And I don't know what to call the others. Honestly. What do you want? What do we want? They're gonna be Team Meanies. What are they doing? Okay. I'll see ya. Seriously, what is going on? What? Okay. What is it? Where's the other two? There they are. Yeah, it's Kung Fu Panda 3 here. What was that all about? Vote now on your phones. I feel like I'm playing Persona 5 here with these options. Hey, you're right. 3 of them. They all look sinister, and they looked all sinister. That's gotta be them. The story said they were laid to rest under the statues, right? What brought them back to life? Teen angst. Wait, they ran off towards Kitakami Hall. Can't be good. Let's go after them. Come on, Harmonia. Well, okay. So... Oh, I can just fly right here. I can fly right to Ogre Ouston. Nice. Do I need to heal up? It wouldn't have auto-healed me after that last battle. It would have. And it did not. Nah, screw it. I probably have lots of healing items. But yeah. I've expected there to be a black screen instead of the Pokemon departure animations, yeah. Since it's kind of what's usually par for the course. Let's just do this. There we go. Yeah, he did have that Falcon Punch. Sup? Did their hands just spaz for a second, or am I going crazy? Oh yeah, wasn't there saying that word makes me remember to like years ago. I forget who mentioned it, but apparently like spastic is like a slur or something like that. But I grew up never hearing about that ever, so I sure hope I didn't cause anyone offense or anything. If it isn't Harmonia, if only you'd been here a few minutes earlier. Wait, Caretaker, I thought that was one of the generic NPCs there that I was giving voice to. Hey, those lousy 3 Pokemon come here? I believe you mean the loyal 3, Carmen. Show them some respect. Forget about that silly title. Always with your attitude. But yes, you did miss out on an incredible treat. The loyal 3 were just visiting our humble little hall. It seemed like they wished to collect the shining masks we've kept safe here at Kitakami Hall. So naturally, we representatives of the hall were happy to return the masks to them with all haste. You gave them the masks? And we offered them a platter of our special Kitakami mochi, packed full of our best herbs. The loyal 3 gobbled them up in a flash. And you fed them? And not only that, we paid off their loans too. Kitakami mochi are so full of nutrition. All 3 are bigger and stronger now, I'm sure. Those lousy 3 are the bad guys. The masks belong to Ogerpon. And not only that, we also completed a hit at their request to make their lives a little bit easier. I really wish I could tell them everything. So, where'd those 3 go? They went at once to Ascendoni Mountain. Perhaps they have it in mind to finish off the terrible ogre that lurks in the dreaded den. No wonder they were dubbed the Loyal 3. Such hard-working heroes they are. This isn't the time to be laughing at all. The story we heard is true, then those 3 must have gone to get revenge on Ogerpon. They say the ogre fought using the powers of its masks. Ogerpon doesn't have any masks right now, right? Won't stand a chance. I mean, that's plural. And we assume that Ogerpon only had 1. We only have 1 of what is presumed many. Yeah. Yeah, we're on the same page. But we should split up. Because as we found out in Area 0, this game cannot handle anyone following the player. You head up to the dreaded den and help Ogerpon. I'll go back home to get the mask fixed up. Give me the mask and the crystal. who cares how presentable it is right now when its friggin' life is at risk? You know? This Pokemon's life is at risk and we want to make it pretty before we give it back? Are you shitting me? I don't think that's our priority right now. Like, you know, an argument can be made that the mask is only going to have like its full power when it's fully restored, but it's not like our characters would know that at this point. Thanks. On your way the moment the mask's fixed. Till then, make sure Ogerpon's safe. Like, what do I know? Especially like a bit offensive people with tics and stuff. It's not as bad as the R-slur, but you know, vocalists on Twitter, yeah. I mean, I already get like, this is semi-canceled by people that hate me for my Pokemon essays. Like, I don't think did I ever mention it during the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet series? I don't think I did because this would have been sometime after the essay was published and there hasn't been a whole lot to this after publishing the essay. There was this group that tried to, this one like influencer and their whole community that tried to kind of go after me because they hated the story, my story rewrite so much. Because Scarlet and Violet is already like a perfect masterpiece of a story that, how dare I propose something else? What was it described as again? They said like, what was it? Like cinema sins but no soul or something like that? I don't even remember. Is what they described my story rewrite as. And, you know, all the people in their replies being like, yeah, it's so awful. Like, man, how could he think to write things in such a way? This is like the most awful thing. So, like, around the time that that was made, I started getting like a bunch of comments of people that really like despised my story rewrite. Like, that seemed to take very much personal offense with it, is what it seemed like. Not just being like, hey, I'm not a big fan of this story rewrite, but just like, oh my goodness, this is the most horrendous thing ever. Much like this video game. I was just walking. Oh man, anyway. And I replied to them saying, you know, I'm always down to discuss my work. Like, you know, if ever anyone wants to contact me and discuss my work, that's the kind of thing that I'm down for. But, you know, you didn't want to have a discussion, you wanted to have a spectacle. Like, you wanted to make a show of me, essentially. And they never replied to me, so they clearly had no interest in talking about the matter. They just wanted to, you know, point at me and be like, look how awful! And get people to rally around that. So I got a lot of comments around the time that that was gaining traction, and it gained a decent bit of traction, that tweet, back when Twitter was actually Twitter. I was getting a decent few comments on my video around that time of people hating the story, but ever since then, like in the months since, I never received that kind of thing anymore. Any comments related to my story rewrite nowadays are people saying that they really like my story rewrite. I've had a lot more people saying that they like my story rewrite than not. Any comments? It was mostly just that one patch of ones that said that it was like the worst thing ever. Where am I going? Hold on. Oh, okay. Well, I should have marked that earlier then. Whoops. This is a lot of Pokemon up here. So cool to see Pokemon existing naturally in their environment as they totally would naturally. But yeah, Boy Bop. Can't remember the story rewrite right now. A lot darker, a lot more believable motivations for like Sada / Turo there, with wanting to undo things as opposed to just like, we're all gonna live hand in hand together and it'll be sunshine and rainbows like it was in the actual game here. You know. Wait a bop. Mabostiff doesn't make it. And like Sada loses Turo in the story rewrite, and that's why she kind of wants to make the time machine to try and fix everything, to undo what's been done, and that greed leads her to, you know, ignore Arven. And now, you know, Arven has resent for her because of that, and she's just like, oh, well, kind of sucks that, you know, Arven's getting neglected here. But once I finish this time machine and perfect it, then I'll be able to undo everything anyway, so it'll all be worth it. You know, like the ends justifies the means and all that. That's how Mabostiff gets injured, and then Arven eventually loses Mabostiff instead of saving Mabostiff, which could lead Arven to either making the same decision as Sada, of like, let's finish this time machine, or a different decision, and he ends up making a different choice, even though Sada's like, you should understand my pain. Like, you should get it. You just experienced this loss. But Arven's like, no, I'm not like you. Like, I'm gonna keep looking forward. instead of like being lost in my regrets. You know, that was essentially my story rewrite. And then like the Team Star plot line was Team Star turning into the bullies that they sought to destroy, and then, you know, coming to realize that they became the very thing that they swore to undo, and then, you know, trying to fix things from there at the end. And then Emona's plot line essentially being like, she's found herself to be lonely at the top, like not really having much challenge anymore. She feels very isolated, you know, very depressed, like, I've done it all, there's nothing more for me to strive towards. But you manage to eventually beat her, and then she regains her confidence, like, there is no ceiling, like, wow, that's amazing, my journey isn't over. You know, that is essentially a short version there, but the Arvin and Sada stuff being the main stuff there. But yeah, imagine if I rushed after game with shade graphic story that could have the potential. But yeah, there was a lot of cool things going on with the story, and a lot of cool things that they could have done, but meh. You know, I probably wouldn't say stuff like that, where people can feel free to enjoy whatever they want to enjoy, defend whatever they want to defend. I don't care. Like, if someone says that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is like a masterpiece of a story that they really enjoyed, okay. Like, I'm not gonna wage war or anything like that. I'll just be like, yeah, everyone's entitled to their own opinions. I'm not here to argue. But if anyone comes after my throat because they hate what I said about my opinions, it's like, come on, man, that's not cool. Like, if you want to say that you disagree, sure, say that you disagree. Here's your reasons why. Don't just provide no context, say that this is super awful, and then, you know, be on your merry way. But that's what happens on content on Pokemon. So, you know, yeah, that's what I've definitely noticed over the years. You know, I'm sure that there's plenty of people that do love these games that don't, you know, engage in that kind of behavior, that might even see videos like mine are just like, huh, different opinion, that's fine, time to move on. But, you know, the ones that are going to be the most vocal are going to be the ones that, you know, are the most drastic. So, you know, it's the kind of thing that can paint a bad image for the group, when really it's probably just like a very small portion of bad actors, I would imagine. I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that that's definitely the biggest thing that I've heard about. For people that actually offer reasons, that's definitely the biggest one that I've heard. But, you know, I felt like I needed to do it to have Arvin and Sada both experience a loss, but then go different ways. Like, if Arvin saved Mabosstiff, then Sada would be like, what the heck? That's not fair. You get to keep the one important to you, but, like, I don't. Like, you can't understand how I feel. I needed Arvin to understand how Sada felt. Like, to go through those similar experiences. Like, they're different, but, you know, still similar-ish. Still a loss. But then make a different decision to mark the distinction between them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to mark the distinction. You know, because they wouldn't have had the same journey. Arvin would have gotten everything he wanted, whereas Sada wouldn't. Whereas that's not really a fair comparison anymore, you know? So that's why I felt like I needed to do that. So yeah, what is this? What is this here? Angry Soy Boy Wojak. I mean, maybe for some. I really don't like turning things into us versus them mentalities, you know? Like, it's something that I do see a lot in, like, the comments of my video essays. I don't really like it either way. Whether it's, like, groups of people coming after me because they hate my work, or even people in my own community being like, oh yeah, everyone that disagrees with me is, like, super awful. So, like, you know, I'm sure that there are, you know, small groups of bad actors that I have experienced firsthand. I've gotten death threats during charity events over my Pokemon videos before, which is absolutely absurd. So, you know, there are definitely some bad actors there, and, you know, some people that really hate my guts. But I never really want to turn this into a us versus them kind of thing, where it's just like, yeah, it's us that see that these games aren't that great versus all the stands that, you know, refuse to see the... I'm not going to turn it into that, you know? You know, people are free to enjoy whatever they want to enjoy. I'm not... Let's not spill my water here. I don't care. You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes the world that's what helps make the world diverse and stuff. If everyone had the same opinion, you know, felt the same on everything, how boring would the world be? It would friggin' suck. You know, it's awesome to be able to have, like, all sorts of different views and to be able to have discussion and expand one's views and understand different points of views because of that. It's just really sad that the internet is at a point that, you know, things are very often turned into us versus them mentalities, and, you know, echo chambers are promoted and all sorts of stuff there. But yeah, you know, yeah, essentially. Like, have other opinions and feel free to, you know, discuss stuff. If anyone comes into, you know, these streams and wants to say, hey, I really enjoyed this, here's why. Great, I would love to hear it. I would love to talk about it a little bit. But, you know, I just don't want to see this turned into, like, all of us that see the light versus all of these people that are all bad actors and all, you know, defend something indefensible and stuff like that. I don't really want to turn it into that. Like, you know, that could have absolutely been the way things could have gone after my initial Pokemon essay. I could have absolutely turned things into that, but I'm not that kind of creator. I don't really want to embrace that. Even if some people who hate my guts do, you know. But yeah, that's the internet there. You, because you made fun of Paper Mario Sticker Star. Gosh dang it. Well, you know what that means. What? Oh, I mistyped it. You know what that means then. I have to type in the whole thing. I can't just, okay, well. Bam. Bam. Acoustic Mario timed out as a sandwich for 30 seconds. Enjoy not being able to chat for the next 30 seconds. How dare you? Pretty much Pokemon Black and White. I mean, yeah. Essentially there. Divine punishment for saying such a thing. Should Chugga Conway bury his copy of Sticker Star? No. It's pretty funny though. I saw some copies of Sticker Star while I was at a fan expo. So you see things like Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door there that cost $200. You know how much they were selling Sticker Star for? $20. They were literally selling 1000-Year Door for 10 times more than Sticker Star. Oh, I have no idea what type they are. I have not a clue here. But yeah, I was gonna say you've done a pretty good job of keeping your community, like, not respectful, but open to opinion. You're supposed willing to listen. Not respectful. I mean, I try to promote respect where I can, but, you know, and there are, gosh dang it, some that do come in that aren't really open to other opinions sometimes. We have had to ban a few people from the Pokemon channel and the Discord server before because of how heated some get. Which is, you know, so weird to say out loud, you know. It is very odd. We are just not the word you were looking for. Sure you are. I don't know. Just send out Diglett Senpai. Sure, we'll go with this narrative. But yeah, there have been a few bad actors that even, you know, would completely agree with my video essays like 100%. That just go after people's throats in the Pokemon channel and Discord, and we've had to, like, permaban. Because there was one time, did this happen in the middle of the Scarlet and Violet series? I don't know if I talked about it during, like, a stream before. But there was this one case where somehow it devolved from, like, disagreements from Pokemon into racism. I don't know how it got there, but this one person that I believe was Japanese used this one word that I had never seen before. It was like, you stupid so-and-so, some word that I don't remember because I'd never seen it before. I looked it up, and apparently it was like a term that meant like Westerner. They were saying like, all you stupid Westerners are all the same, essentially. You know, I really don't know how it happened. Like, if you asked me what kind of chain of events led to it, I would not be able to tell you. So that's how that happened. Yeah, so that occurred. Yeah, they have not been around the community for many months because they got banned. Like, you know that term? If you know it, then maybe it'd be familiar to me if it was posted, you know, without like racist context. But it was apparently some word that meant like some kind of Westerner or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Just checked online. Super Paper Mario is cheap enough these days, despite being an acclaimed classic. Huh? Interesting. What is the sandwich posted here now? I'm being back from there. I'm back from my mute. And then a rising thingamabob here that looks like it's from Dragon Ball. Kiki. Like, that was probably the most drastic case I ever saw within the Discord server. I was stunned. I'm still surprised about it to this day. And this is someone that, like, generally, you know, a lot of people like to do the whole us versus them where it's just like, oh yeah, it's only those on the other side that, you know, do this. This was someone that, like, for the most part agreed with my video essays that just took things way too far and somehow spiraled into racism. And it's funny to laugh at nowadays because it's just so, like, just so wacky. Like, how does that happen? But, you know, in the moment is clearly very messed up. Knock it off, all of you. Trying to go 3 against 1 on you, huh? Guess a fair fight's too much to expect. I mean, it was a one-on-one there, but now that we're here, it'll make you regret ever coming back to life. Gaijin, you think general term for foreigner? Leave out the context can make it very derogatory. Was it that word? Or was it something else? It's not immediately familiar to my brain. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. They ran away. But I remember having to put it through Google Translate, seeing what this meant. I could have sworn it translated to, like, Westerner or something like that. It's just too much for them to handle. And they were essentially saying, like, you stupid Westerners are all the same. Monia, go on, say it properly. About the mask. I just got so angry and what I did was real dumb. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I don't know what I'm apologizing for, but I guess keeping things a secret, keeping them out, stuff. Thanks, Harmonia. He was sulking around, so I grabbed him by the collar and dragged him here. Well, I'm glad I did. Pon pon. Howdy. But yeah, it's really you. A real-life ogre. Wowzers, you're really something. You want to be the one to give the mask back to Ogrepon, right, Kiki? This is for you, dear ogre. Love does go too far, doesn't it? Just met. Calling her dear. Immediately, it seems scared. Maybe it's not good with new people, Kiki. Just weirded out by the terms we're using. I don't think it'll take the mask if I'm the one giving it back. You should be the one to do it, Harmonia. I mean, I'm just as unfamiliar, but okay. Turn the teal mask to Ogrepon. There's actually an animation putting it on. And seems so happy. Seems pretty comfortable around you, Harmonia. Main character syndrome. Privilege or whatever. main character syndrome and privilege. Syndrome for I'm used to it, I guess, and just figure it's gonna happen. Privilege for it's a thing happening. That'd be nice if we could give the other 3 masks back to Ogrepon too, don't you think? What, is that like post-game here? Did those 3 Pokemon take the masks that were in Kitakami Hall? Yeah, never mind that the masks rightfully belong to poor Ogrepon here. So now starts going around and catching those 3 and getting the last masks. I wouldn't put it past the so-called loyal 3 to plot a second ambush either. We need to keep Ogrepon safe while we deal with them. So catch Ogrepon. That means the 3 of us are gonna form a team. The Mask Retrieval Squad. Are you serious? Person that calling out Westerner could be Carmen, maybe. Got a problem with the name? Carefully, or I may demote you from second in command. I can come too? Of course you can. Now that that's settled, let's go gather intel about those loyal 3 in Mosui. We're going to get those masks back. We can do this. We have to catch them. Something? Just be confused by fans whether Nintendo has been holding back Intelligent Systems from bringing back classic Paper Mario. Now it looks like Intelligent Systems really was to blame for the series slump. Like, has there been some behind-the-scenes stuff revealed, or just from, like, the evidence of the 1,000-Year Door is getting a remake and coming out here now? But yeah, Rosha just watched the Super Mario Super Show. Could prevent him from becoming a Goomba. Guess so. You know? Pokemon will now follow you around. Oh. Interesting. Interesting here. So, I should go to bed here pretty soon. Like, I can see what's happening over there, or maybe we'll save it for next time. This is what we'll do. Mayhap. Ogrepon's gonna teleport with me, right? And Ogrepon is just the Pokemon's name, right? Something's happening. Thought I needed to get over there for something to happen, but... Oh, because I needed to return to town and it expects me to be by this bridge. I guess. What's wrong, Ogrepon? I bet it doesn't want to go into the village. Villagers did a pretty good job of chasing it away back then, so... Yeah, you're right. Okay, well, maybe Ogrepon can wait for us here. Go gather information while it waits. Do you think it'll be okay? Pay attention now, Ogrepon. We go on village. You stay here. Ogrepon, stay. You understand? I'm gonna take that as a no. Yeah, wait for us here until we come back. Paper Mario Decade of Despair is finally behind us. Yeah, all this time. Looks like it understood that. What's wrong with what I said? I don't know. Maybe you're maybe you have a strong accent that Ogrepon couldn't understand. That we know if there was voice acting. There was this one clip I saw like probably a month ago. That was a really funny case of like an accent where someone asked this guy that he was interviewing like, what would you, if you could tell yourself in the past anything, like any lesson that you've learned throughout the years, like what would it be? And the guy goes, spend less time with the kids. And the interviewer is like, really? As a father, I'm really surprised to hear you say that. The guy's like, no, dickheads. And the interviewer has to ask like, what's he saying? And another guy translates, dickheads. He's like, oh, dickheads, not the kids. But he said like the kids, you know, that, you know, he couldn't understand. I thought it was really funny. Anyway, but yeah, Kami's residence. God, I hope I don't see that jolly green. Yeah, Ogrepon just being all jolly, but really I don't want to see it around. So are you just chilling out here? Oh yeah, hi. Yoink, skirt, skirt. Do I need heals? Wait. Oh yeah, I'll heal before I call things for the night. Because yeah, it's about 10 p.m. I gotta get up at 6 a.m. to go to work, so... Yeah, I would normally go into the night a little bit. You know, rock out the end cosplay here a little while, but, you know... I should get a little bit of sleep here so that I don't, like, pass out at work tomorrow or anything. You know, I throw a crab at your best friend. Is your best friend Hungry Box? Let's see here. Let's go ahead and save. Yeah. And we're gonna go call it a night. So, yeah. This will probably be, like, the one off of, like, the end cosplay. I guess I did it, like, really early in the Scarlet and Violet series as well. Wow. Like, during that charity stream that I was doing and stuff. So, it's not, like, the only time that I have this during Scarlet and Violet stuff here. I want to get up here. I want to get up here. Just let me get up here. Just let me get up here. Let me please. I'm not getting up here next to the Vulpix. Oh, sucks. Pink thing on the counter. Oh, looks like something you'd see in, like, Sonic or Bomberman or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here. Thanks everyone who stopped by and hung out for this set of shenanigans. And if you take any lesson from this stream and a stream, you know, be open to hearing other ideas even if you disagree with them. And don't villainize people for having said other ideas. Unless I say they like Paper Mario Sticker Star. Yeah, so until next time, see ya.